Joe Perry. And Joe, I'm delighted
Judd
to say he's joining me today. Good afternoon, Joe.
Afternoon, Dave. Yep, nice to be here. Looking forward to a good day's snooker in action. Always nice to see Judd Trump play. Great to watch. Great attacking style. Yeah, be keen to see how much work Judd's put in over these last few months. We'll get a slight indication of that early on.
Well, Peng here, he has played a match, actually, European Masters at the weekend. He lost 5-1 to Dylan Emery, so not the best start to life on the pro ranks. But that's not too shabby.
1.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I caught a bit of that match when it was the first time I'd ever seen Peng in action, but you know he's going to be pretty good. He's a nomination from the CBSA. We know how competitive the amateur scene is over there in China, so if he's the nomination, he's the best of the bunch. So expect to see some good things from him in his little campaign.
Peng Yisong.
It's going to take a while, obviously, to get used to the conditions, and obviously thought of playing Judd Trump adds extra pressure to anything he might do in this match.
Well, there's no holding back, was there? He went full-blooded at that very difficult brown. Let's see if he lives to regret that. Yes, Trump has had a good break, as he was entitled to, after the season that ended with him reaching the World Final. People said it wasn't such a good season, but that's only in comparison to the ones he'd had before. He still won 2 big titles, the Champion of Champions and the Turkish Masters, the new event in Antalya.
Seven.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. You know, there's probably only a handful of players on the tour that wouldn't have been happy with Judd's season.
8.
Runner-up in a world final, ranking event winner, another runner-up, champion of champions. It's a hell of a season for most of us. One we can only dream about, really, but the very top professionals, very high standards.
15.
Obviously, he wanted to win that World Championship, but he ended up as part of history with O'Sullivan's 7th. He pushed him in that afternoon session,
16.
fought back really well. O'Sullivan played very well in the evening.
Yeah, just gone a fraction too far there. Was looking to do what he always likes to do, leave himself high on the blue and go into the pack with lots of pace, but Judd finding out what we've all experienced so far in this Championship League. The tables are extremely fast. So I expect him to just lose the cue ball on the odd occasion here and there. That looked like a bit of a heavy contact to me, that one. Blue just seemed to push off line as soon as he made contact with it. No harm done though. I think he was just looking to play an attacking safety shot had he knocked the blue in.
We've had 7 Chinese group winners so far, and we've been saying in previous weeks, a lot of the Chinese players, they didn't go back home after the end of the season because of the quarantine situation and also the price of flights. So a lot of them have actually just been practicing in those academies, and we've seen the fruits of that over the course of the last 3 weeks. Whereas, understandably, a lot of the British players have just sort of down cues.
One.
Nice long red there. Judd well controlled. And that little graze on the yellow, it's just meant he's got a nice angle on this pink. Can hit just for the jaws of the middle pocket and into the bunch. Just like that. How's his luck? Didn't quite catch the heart of the bunch there, so just grazed off them. Has got a red, but
7.
would have been looking for something a little bit easier than this.
Judd Trump 7.
We saw yesterday with Peter Devlin, who was the bottom seed. Maybe the best time to play the top seed is in their opening match. Stuart Bingham, not so much rusty, just struggled with conditions and beaten 3-0.
Yeah, quite a way off with that attempted thin cut on the red. Had he potted the red, he wouldn't have gone anywhere near the black, so another chance for Judd. Thing Peng can't do, even if Judd is a little bit rusty. Keep giving him easy starters, because he'll soon find his form. And we all know what happens once Judd Trump starts getting on a roll. Bit of a tricky table here, so we may see Judd just try and develop a few balls, few colours. Yeah, just gently into these, just try and release one or two, bring a colour into play. Well, he's on a red, but don't
3.
think the pink passes, so be looking to do something similar again. The next yellow or green. Needs the pink or black in play here, really, to turn this into a really good chance.
4.
By the way, in frame 2, we will have our latest competition question for tickets to the Champion of Champions, where Trump is defending champion, so that'll be in the next frame. So, is the
7.
break. What he'll have seen, though, so far is his opponent. He's very attacking. He's going for everything. So I think Trump will expect to get chances here today. It's just a question of when he settles down, really. Yeah, trying to separate pink and black.
Judd Trump 7.
In terms of your start to the season, Joe, obviously not successful at the weekend, but after that Welsh Open win, you must be, you know, you've always been enthusiastic about snooker, but you must be looking forward to the season.
Yeah, the first couple of tournaments have just knocked me a little bit. I actually put a bit of work in, believe it or not, before the season started, hoping to get off to a good start after last year's very slow start. But yeah, just the nature of the beast, it's just tough out there. I was a frame away from winning my Championship League group. 1-0 up against Elliot Slessor in the last match, needing a draw, and didn't manage to get the job done. And then had quite a tough match with Dominic Dale the other day, who just edged me 5-3. So yeah, a bit of a slow start again, but you know, it can happen. The competition's tough, and just putting a few hours practicing doesn't give you the right to win. So more hard work for me. But like you say, Dave, yeah, I'm looking forward to the season. You know, I've got the Champion of Champions to look forward to. I'll be honest, I didn't think I'd be getting in that again anytime soon. So that's definitely one to look forward to later on in the season.
Yeah, well, it starts with him catching the pink, and that then flicked the cue ball onto the knuckle of the middle pocket.
Yeah, I'm not going to prejudge Peng in any way, because I haven't seen enough of him play yet. But one thing we will know for sure is that the level he's going to be playing at in the next 2 years is significantly higher than what he's been used to, and he's going to have to improve his tactical game considerably by what we've seen so far. He hasn't done in this frame just yet, but you don't get away with too many mistakes on the main tour these days. 2 if you're lucky. Sometimes just the one mistake is enough to cost you a frame. Well, I'm not sure, Dave, but I think this will probably be the messiest table Judd Trump has all season long. Just looking at it now, not one colour on its spot.
Yeah, it's not his sort of frame, really. But what has improved, of course, for him over the years is his tactical game. When he started, he was very much an out-and-out attacking potter, and he got plenty, but he learnt that to be consistently successful, you need the all-round game. Sean Murphy's already 1-0 up, by the way, against Ben Mertens. So good start for Sean next door.
Oh, Peng's a quick learner. It's a nice safety shot he's played there, the best one he's played so far in this match. Exactly as played. Cue ball in behind the green. Green's a very good target where it is, in the jaws of the pocket there. Quite a nice big angle coming in to get in behind that area of the table. But again, as difficult as this shot is, there's not much risk attached to it. Unlikely if Judd leaves a red, it's going to do much damage with where the colours are.
Foul and a miss for Peng Yisong.
Yeah, overhit that one quite badly. It's probably playing for the yellow there. So again, in behind the green, and once again, unlikely. It's going to be a great scoring chance on the back of this.
Judd, I think the four's gone on the wrong one. Right. Okay, sorry about that.
I think we've got a problem with the scores. I think the foul points went on to the Trump side rather than Peng's. So John Pellew trying to sort it out with his zapper.
Then he gets a 1.
There we go.
Sorry about that. Foul and a miss for Peng Yisong.
Yes, it's welcome back, isn't it, to the realities of snooker. It's a tough game, and this frame very scrappy, but of course they're all going to count, whether it's half an hour long or they win it in 10 minutes with a century.
Has to hide the cue ball here behind the yellow because he's leaving the red near the right corner, so that's the one he needs to get cover on. He's just about got there. That was risky, but again took the attacking option, trying to bring the reds and black into play. We've already seen he's a very aggressive attacking player.
Well, like you say, Joe, he's learning quick. Getting Trump in bother.
Yeah, this time there's a chance Peng could score a few. Should Judd leave him on, because the black we've already seen is available into the left middle. So if he can get a red here, Judd should leave him one, get the black back on the spot. Wow, Judd's freed the
Foul.
black.
And a miss. 7. Peng Yisong.
Yeah, so not a gimme of a first red, but you feel it's one that, you know, you'd have to take it on. This goes in. There's a few loose reds there. Get himself back into this first frame.
One.
Well, he didn't get into
3.
the cue ball there at all. He was looking to bring the cue ball at least another 3 foot down the table. Make one of these reds into the right corner. Certainty. He's finished way short, so he can pull off an extravagant plant here. It's just another safety shot. Well, that was extravagant. 3 balls and a flick off the other
4.
red. I'm not sure how intentional that was, but I think Judd will be going back to his favoured spot in this frame, behind the green.
Sort of half held his hand up, but it was almost like, no, actually, I'm not going to.
Peng Yisong 4.
Well, what you need in this sport is patience. I mean, Trump may get a decent chance at some stage. He's still in front, but haven't seen much for a while.
Looks like he's shaping to take this red on into the far left corner. Can only really leave this red, should he miss it. Yeah, I think that was it was an attempt, but it was more guaranteeing getting a safe cue ball than all out for the pot.
One.
Nice solid pot there, nicely on the black. So thinking a few shots ahead here. Get nicely on this red and get back down for the black. Leave himself high on the black. Can then bring these other reds into play.
8.
So a couple of perfect positional shots required here, and this could soon open up into a chance to get a nice lead in this frame. But again, good
9.
3 foot short, so he's obviously, understandably, a bit of tension. He's not getting through the cue ball as he would like. Not getting the action on the white just yet, so as you've got to allow him that. Very new on tour, playing Judd Trump.
Peng Yisong 9, 11.
Well, Trump struggling. His first frame. Now these reds are in more open positions. So chance for Peng. Playing first blood.
One.
Again, you can see how quick the table is. He's finding that out first hand.
7.
Well, Judd Trump will be having his post redirected to that spot. He's spent so long behind the green. But it's not a tight snooker, is it? He can actually get through to this red.
Gradually, the frame has opened up. Judd Trump will be delighted to see that after all these mistakes and chances he's given away, he's just trails by 9 points. So this frame's still very much in the balance. Yeah, this is slightly awkward now. The second red's just going the way for the natural path back down this end of the table, so needs to be careful here. It's not bad. Sure, he covered the red fork half of the table there.
Let's see how you like it, being in behind the green.
Yeah, it was a clever shot, wasn't it, Dave? He used the pink to take all the pace out of the red. Roll reversal, but Peng has to be careful. It's not a great table for a clearance, but Judd can get 2 reds. Green is on a good side of the table for a left-hander. I think he'll be happy with that. He may find himself behind the black next visit to the table, but at least he'll be coming back to the table. Wow. Hit the red, which was a good shot, but the bad news for Peng is that he's brought the brown into play. So if Judd can, when he's this red in, the clearance is becoming ever much easier.
1.
Again, the balls sometimes dictate how a frame is played out. Another day that could have just nudged towards the pocket. So again, just a snooker.
Judd Trump 1.
As you can now clearly see, very dangerous table. Again, hit the red, but stuck it up. So if Judd's going to take a look at the scoreboard here, he gets red-black. He won't need the difficult pink. Just wonder if Judd's got an eye on, normally very astute at that kind of thing. But it's very early on in the season. Whether he's completely switched on yet and focused, we'll find out. But like I say, red-black with this red means yellow, green, brown, blue will be enough.
1.
Yeah, he'd done the maths, and Peng had
8.
the upper hand for a while in this frame, but just when he was potting balls, well, the balls were awkward, but also he was just losing his way because of the pace of the table. But meanwhile,
Judd Trump 8.
Judd Trump misses that yellow by some distance. Just as he was looking good to win this frame.
Yeah, not sure what happened there, Dave. I don't know if that was a bad contact again. But whatever it was, he hasn't been punished.
No, it's not been a classic frame, I think it's fair to say, but as I say, they all count, and it looked over. And then he pots a much more difficult one. So Peng may look back on this frame. I mean, the match isn't over yet, of course, but he may look back on this frame. He's had a lot of potential chances and certainly a lot of table time. But it's Trump who needs brown and blue for the frame. And now the brown stays out.
Judd Trump 5.
Well, that must have been a kick, surely. Judd Trump doesn't miss these. I have noticed, I don't want to go on about it, but I have noticed both players are using the old traditional chalk. Whether that's playing a part already in this match on this table, we'll yet to find out, but there's been a few strange misses from Judd Trump.
Four.
So now the pink is in play for both. Peng must wonder how the frame's still going. terrific shot.
9.
Need another one. He needs the pink for the frame. Frame that a couple of times he looked certain to lose. Brilliant blue. Trump missed yellow and brown. In goes the pink. So
15.
Peng Yisong, after all of that, he's going to take the opening frame. Bit of a mixed bag, to say the least. He doesn't care. He's won it. He's off and running, leading Judd Trump 1-0.
Yisong.
Welcome back. Well, quite a long opening frame. Judd Trump a couple of times looked like he was going to take it, but in the end, Peng Yisong potted a terrific blue and pink.
Thank you. The second frame.
It was very scrappy stuff,
Peng
but
Yisong to break.
to say this young man is not going to mind that, and if he can win one more, he's guaranteed a draw. John Murphy's still 1-0 up against Ben Mertens on table 2. In fact, Mertens, who's a new professional from Belgium, has just won the second frame, so he's levelled up. He's quite a dangerous player, I think. Has in the past won a match in world qualifying when he was still only 15.
Attempted long red there for Judd. Didn't have to take it on. But feels he needs to get something going in this match. It was a slow start for him, definitely. But he hasn't got away with it, and
1.
probably think Peng will be a little bit more relaxed in this frame. Now he's got that frame on the board. Finished it off nicely. So just needs to keep better control of the cue ball. That's what let him down in the first frame. Potted some good balls, but just kept leaving himself a bit too far away from the next pot. Let's see if he can just keep tighter control of that cue ball. Again, that's just run a little bit too far, but I think he can
5.
avoid the bunch here when potting this red and get back up the table for the blue. Yeah, you see just slightly awkward cueing. Bridge hand very close to the cue ball. Yeah, made that quite difficult.
Peng Yisong 5.
Oh. Again, not punished for his mistake, Judd Trump, but needs to get something going here.
Yeah, he needs to get his hand on the table, just pot a few, just get involved, get used to the table, used to the conditions, and get used again to playing tournament snooker. He's had a few months off, which he's more than entitled to, but now this is his first day back at work. Played it well, but you're always relying on a little bit of luck.
6.
Could have worked out better for sure. And the red stays out, so
6.
Just a rather frustrating start to proceedings for Trump. If that red had gone in, you felt he was away then, and there was a big break on.
1.
Well, he's having a look at the blue. Obviously not what he was hoping for when he come to the table. He was looking to get on the black there. This would have been a good chance, but get through to this blue. We'll take it on. Looks very tight from our
Yellow
position.
ball.
Clearly can't get to the potting angle, so again, much like the first frame,
Pang Yisong.
both players have been at the table, just
1.
can't string a few together just yet. But at the moment, this table is far more appealing. It was the first time round. Yeah, you just feel if Judd can just get a little break going, just get to sort of like 20, 25, he will get going in this match. But it's just them initial first few pots, stringing a few together. Again, just caught that one a little bit thick. That's why he ran into the jaws of the pocket. Hasn't done any damage at first glance, but Judd Trump's point of view, he won't be happy to see where that black's gone, because it's just stopping him from sort of getting going and getting into a rhythm in this match.
Just feel though, you know, you're going to get chances because Peng all out attack, it seems. If they're not going in, then you're going to leave spots like this. It was a thin cut along the top cushion, which he didn't make. Well, I did promise you our competition, so I will duly deliver it. Champion of Champions, Judd Trump is the defending champion. October the 31st to November the 6th in Bolton. And if you want 2 tickets to his first day, the group matches, where he hopefully will play 2 matches, then you need to enter our competition. The question is, when he won the tournament last year, how many frames did he lose in the tournament? So how many frames did he lose on the way to winning the Champion of Champions last season? Send your answers to the official Championship League
5.
Twitter account. That's at CL Snooker, at CL Snooker. And Jake from Matchroom, who runs it, will pick a winner later. Good luck. And it's only fair to say, Joe
5.
actually came up with the question. Because me and Phil were scratching our heads, couldn't come up with anything. And well, that's why you're here, Joe.
Well, to be honest, Dave, I was getting bored listening to you and Phil for 10, 15 minutes trying to find a question. I just thought I'd help you out as I could. I think that last shot from Judd was a clear indication that he doesn't get frustrated. Got wonderful temperament for snooker, but he enjoys playing the game in an attacking, flamboyant style. And you know, he could have easily run up to balk there and got his opponent in trouble, but just took the option to bring the black into play. But he has to be careful. Okay, he's not being punished for his mistakes, but as we saw in the last frame, he just takes that one little moment of magic and he can lose a frame, and he can't really afford to lose another frame in this match. It'll be a, you know, it's a match he expected to win and stick 3 points on the board.
Yeah, the start Trump's made, I think, will give a lot of players hope, because we're used to seeing him at his best, of course, dazzling with his shot making, but when you're struggling, the game is difficult, and that's how it seems at the moment. And right now, the #1 priority has to be getting something out of this match. If he loses it, then he's in the position Bingham was in yesterday, needing other results to go his way. And Trump's nickname is not Ball Run, so it might not happen for him.
Yeah, the two reds sort of closest to left and right middle are causing the problem here when playing safe. To get the cue ball somewhere near the jaws of one of the pockets to stop them being available. Which is why he's played a shot we know as a dump shot. Even the cue ball on this end of the table. Made an okay job of that, but Judd just in control of this situation. Playing the more positive safety shots. Got his opponent playing negative, just containing shots, and that's a much better safety shot from Judd. This time, his opponent plenty to think about here. Not an obvious escape. Two reds that are together above the black spot. If he can land in behind them, it'd be pretty safe, but not easy to get there. Well, he's hit the red. He's left this one on. It's a thin one, but I expect Judd to get this most of the time.
One.
That's done. There's the cue ball. Gonna need another pot. It's a pot that you would expect Judd Trump to make all the time when he's in full flow, but well, now this is the best chance Judd's had so far in this match. Reds are in the open. Next shot, sorry. The pink will be back on its spot. How is this when Judd Trump gets his season up and running?
7.
23 ranking titles he's won now. Of course, the most recent was the new addition to the calendar, the Turkish Masters, where he made a maximum in the final session, which was just a perfect way, really, to win that event. Created such excitement
13.
for the fans there. I'm sure will be ready booking their tickets for next season, or rather this season now.
14.
Problem he'd had, it's a good problem to have. Of course, he'd won previous 3 seasons. He'd won, well, the first one was 3 ranking events and the Masters, then 5 ranking events, then 6. So to keep that up, you know, you need to be superhuman year in, year out.
20. 21.
Yeah, that one's gone slightly wrong.
26.
Looking for a full ball contact there. Let's bring them 2 reds into play and leave himself red to left middle. So I think this red is still available, but it's very thin now. Oh, it's a wonderful pot.
27.
Did look a little bit too thin from our angle if it was still potable, but only did he pot it. Kept perfect control of the cue ball. You know, we always had the green there waiting. Oh, he's going to need another precise positional shot here. Just avoid these 2 reds. Oh, that might just be okay. Want to just avoid them and come around the back, but
30.
I think the top red of the 2, the one directly below the pink, is potable. He may even be on the one through the gap, which is even better. He was on it, but he didn't pot it. As you can see,
Judd Trump,
it's been nicely
30.
on the black, and that probably would have been frame over. So a bit better from Judd, but still not absolutely his clinical best yet.
Yeah, he's got a useful lead, but everything is kind of on, so got to be careful here. Obviously, if he were to lose the frame trump, then the best he could get out of this was a point on what on paper is supposed to be his easiest match of the day. Of course, it doesn't always work out like that. What he's got though, great concentration, ability to, whatever's happening, to try and find the right shot to play. Again, you always sort of fancy trump for those. Quite happening yet today.
One.
So Peng Yisong with a chance here to get back into this frame. And he must sense a big chance to win the match as well. Trump is struggling. He may get better as the day goes on, but in this first match he's struggling. No two ways about it. So can Peng take advantage?
Seven. Eight.
Yeah, looking at the table, he's going to need pretty much all the remaining balls, so just wonder if he'll take the opportunity to bring these two reds on the left-hand side of the table into play while he's got the other reds here, but the way he's played that tells me
13.
no. Could have played a more attacking shot there. He's got the red available to the right middle, red to right corner. Probably would definitely have landed on one of those if he'd made contact with the safe reds, but looks like he's going to clear the loose ones first, get himself back into the frame. Nothing wrong with that, of course. It just makes the clearance a little bit harder when all the balls that are left are safe positions. Oh, now has to get a nice angle off the next colour because the red's been on the left-hand side of the table.
20.
No good for a right-handed player, but saying that, he did pot a lovely pink down the cushion with a rest to win the first frame, so obviously accomplished rest player. Yeah, and that was the trouble.
21.
And that was my point a few shots back. Had he played that earlier on in the frame, he would have still had a red available to one of the corner pockets, but going to need a good pot now to keep this going.
$27. 28.
Well, he did find a good pot, and he's followed it up with another one. He's still not completely out of the woods. He's still got the remaining safe red, but can drop onto this side cushion off the pink. So he's done well here. Maybe not conventional way of going about things, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day as long as you
34.
stay at the table and you keep knocking the balls in. Who's to say what's right and wrong? These are always tricky. Obviously, the harder you hit these, the more difficult they are.
Peng Yisong,
About
34.
him is he fully commits to every shot, but that wasn't easy. 1 point in it, another close frame. Wow.
1.
Cue ball somehow clings on.
Pink ball. Judd Trump, 1.
Made such a difference not going in off. Obviously then Peng has control of the frame, but as it is, it remains in the balance. But the pink was on the cushion in the last frame, wasn't it? And Peng ended up knocking it in with the rest.
Yeah, he certainly did. I think that previous shot from Judd is a sign of just how far his game has developed. You know, we don't have to talk about him anymore as this out-and-out potter. You know, that's that little shot he played there, being 2 ahead. He doesn't need the pink, but his opponent does. So it's little clever little nuances that really make a player, separate a player from being one of the very best to just a good snooker player.
2.
Just takes the pressure off the clearance, knowing your opponent's still going to have to pull out a great shot to win the frame.
Five. Nine.
Well, it's been not clean to say the least, but can pot this, then like he's levelled up. Struggled, but doesn't mean he won't improve as the day goes on. In the end, he's cleared up well.
14.
1 snooker required. Black not in an ideal spot for that. Pink is in the ideal spot, the pocket.
20.
So Judd Trump will be very happy to win the frame. He's still struggling, but
Judd Trump.
he's on the scoreboard, of course, still with every chance to win this match, level at 1 each. Now this is table 2, and Ben Mertens, having lost the opening frame to Sean Murphy, he's going to be 2-1 up here.
30.
He's a new professional from Belgium. They've actually got 3 on tour now. Obviously, Luca Brussel's in the top 16. Julian Leclerc we'll see on
15.
Thursday. And Ben here starting out, all very exciting. And, well, it'll be exciting, certainly, if he can beat Sean Murphy, match 1. Looks a real prospect.
18.
He's looking to win the last frame there to get the 3 points. We're underway here in frame 3. Judd Trump having just levelled up against Peng Yisong. So 2 frames guaranteed now. Now, be concerned here as he walks away. Now Judd Trump's on the table. Can he start to find his best game?
Yeah, there'll be some stages through this coming season where you may as well just set these balls up and start again, because this is a frame in the bag for Judd Trump
Thank you.
when he's on top form.
1.
As we've seen so far today, quite on top form just yet, but these are the chances we'd have been setting up in practice. Be looking to, like I say, normal, any normal time, he'd be looking to win the frame at this visit.
8.
You know, he won't hang about and getting the balls open. It's one thing he's probably the best in the world at, developing
9.
a reasonably tight table into a open frame winning one. Only have one eye, I should imagine, on how he's going to go about developing these reds. Could be right here. Landed a little bit low on this red, intentionally, I would guess.
16.
Just power through this pack, and if he lands on a colour, it's off.
Seventeen. Brown ball.
Yeah, he's known, of course, for the heavy scoring. One of
21.
only 2 players to have made 100 centuries in a season, 6 maximums. 4th on the all-time list with 856 centuries.
22.
Found himself, of course, in the semi-finals at the Crucible with
29.
the 3 star pupils from the class of '92, Ronnie, John, Mark Williams, Dee Dee. Beat Williams in
30.
an absolute classic, 17-16. And this is the thing, he's been successful while those 3 are still at the top.
37.
Neil Robertson, obviously, Mark Selby, various others. I think what's
38.
interesting now for Trump, though, is that he's sort of in the middle, isn't he? They've got those older players, but now he's no longer the young player. There's people like Xiao Tong and Yan Bingtao coming along, but are posing a threat from a younger generation now.
Give me a minute, please, Judd.
As we expected, went on nicely here from that chance that was presented to him in the very beginning of this frame. It's run out of loose reds now after this one goes in, so
44.
we're just having a look if the red at the top of the bunch is potable. If it is, he's still got that one available, but Failing that,
45.
I'll be going into the reds again. Just saw that the red does pot into the right middle as well as the left corner, so may play on the red here, because when potting the red, he'll be bringing others into play. As long as he travels with the cue ball. Oh, he's on the red, but he won't be bringing any others into play with the angle he's left
52.
himself, so absolutely imperative now. Leaves himself a nice angle off the next colour.
53.
That looks pretty perfect, so as he hits the heart of this bunch, it's difficult to see how he won't land on a red. Wow, he's hit them flush, but didn't seem to move. Just a couple of reds broke out and they've run into safe
58.
positions. So yeah, be pretty surprised there. He hit them pretty well. Like I say, you don't always know how the balls are going to react. Couldn't really foresee that happening. Seems very intent on winning the frame at that visit.
Judd Trump,
Wonder
58.
on another day if he would have took that red on in another situation, but keen to build some momentum in this match. It was a nice visit to the table. Best one so far from his perspective.
1.
I think he anticipated that return from his opponent. Took him by surprise there, left the double on, played it again, so attacking. No thought of playing it as a shot to nothing. Oh, can he get the counter attack?
Long ball. Peng Yisong, 1.
He's not scared, is he, to go on the attack? And could have been end of frame, but Judd Trump unable to knock that one in.
One.
Long way behind, but these balls are nicely situated. The three reds and the pink look like they're congested, but it's one of them situations. As he pots one of the reds, it will bring another one into play, so
4.
has to keep tight control of this cue ball. It's the one thing that's really let him down so far.
Five.
So there's nothing really that safe here. Just a matter of keeping good control of the cue ball and keeping your composure. I'm not saying he'll win the frame at this visit, but can definitely get himself right back into it.
$12. $13. $20.
Still a little bit of work to do here with these three remaining reds. They're all on, but got to get in quite tight behind them to make the pots easy. And then
21.
the obvious problem is the yellow not being available into its own pocket. And unless he can play on the brown off the last red, gonna have to play a very good positional shot to land on the yellow into the green pocket.
$28. $29.
Judd Trump might be getting a little bit concerned now. Looked like this frame was almost as good as one. But a couple of good positional shots here, and Peng goes favourite to take
36.
the frame. Guarantee himself at least a point in this match. He's looking for a nice angle now. He's looking to play on the brown, but I'd probably advise against that. Now he's come this far. Plenty of room there to get on the yellow into the green pocket. He's got to get very nice on this brown. That's what he's going to do. Yeah, and he's put all his efforts into positional side of the shot and forgot to pot the red. We've all done it. We'll keep doing it, I'm sure, but it's a snooker player's nightmare. Take your eye off the pot, trying to get good position.
This next shot, a big one, I guess, for him. He's done well to get back into the frame, which he looked certain at one point to lose, but he leaves the red on, then Trump already with a good lead. You fancy him very strongly to make it 2-1.
One.
So we'll still need the yellow. He was a bit unlucky, Trump, wasn't he, when he went into the pack? Didn't get a good split. He did have that chance after that, the cutback red, which he missed. Now he needs this yellow, and it should be 2-1 to him. I think from what we've seen of Peng so far, he's a sort of classic raw talent. He's only 20, new on the scene. He's clearly got a lot of talent, but just finessing it, which he'll have the chance to do over the next 2 years on tour. But Trump has struggled
13.
really, but he now has a chance, of course, to get the 3 points after all if he can win the last frame. And I think he'll be more than delighted with that, considering some of the struggles he's had in this match.
18.
Peng did have the chance to clear up, missed the last red.
24.
And Judd Trump, who made 58 earlier on, will be delighted that he got that chance to put the frame away. So he leads 2-1. Well, it's not been vintage Judd Trump, but he's 2-1 up, and he still has a chance to get the 3 points if he can win this last frame. Peng Yisong, a newcomer to the tour, hoping to
thank you.
salvage a point.
Peng Yisong to break.
Here we go, then the last frame of the first match here in Group 2. Jamie Clark and Sean O'Sullivan will be on this table after this match. Ben Merton still 2-1 up on Sean Murphy next door. Liam Highfield and Zhu Ze of China, the other two players in that group.
This long red from Judd, he played it very positively to hold for the blue. And they missed it, left his opponent a chance. Again, nice pot.
What?
There's nothing wrong with his potting, but it's just that a bit wild with the cue ball control at the moment. Leaving himself a long way from the next ball and just increases pressure on the pot.
Let's just have a look at table 2 because we're at a critical stage here. Murphy looks like he's got the draw. He's 48 in front, 43 on brown to follow. So 2-2, but a good result for Mertens, clearly, against the top seed, as Peng Yisong knocks in a terrific blue. So an interesting start on both tables against, of course, world champions against tour newcomers.
6.
The draw on table 2, and Peng hoping for the same here on table 1.
Seven.
Yeah, like Dave said, it was a very good pot on the blue, and it's giving himself a great chance in this frame to establish an early lead. From his perspective, a chance to go on and win the frame. Another nice positional shot there. Just
12.
landed on the red, just left of the black spot, which is the one he needs out of the way to turn this into a good scoring chance. So as we've said a few times, the balls
13.
are there. Just got to keep tight control of that cue ball. A lot of pressure on him.
Yes, I mean, it would be a good result, wouldn't it, to get the draw here. It's world number 2. They keep tight control of the cue ball. He's not done that there.
20.
Finished hampered.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Reddy was playing on there, but he found himself a little bit lucky to still have a chance at this one. Yeah, nice clean pot. Nothing wrong with his
21.
potting. He's obviously a very talented player. Good eye, good potter.
Well, I don't think he's turned a single pot down, has he? I mean, some of them were quite low percentage, but that's just a reflection of where he is in his career, starting out as a young lad.
Well, that was a nice idea, wasn't it? He was
27.
probably hoping to leave himself on one of the loose reds when making contact with the bunch here, but yeah, counted himself a little bit unlucky there. So has to get a good safety shot in now. Got a nice little lead.
Good grief. Wow. Well, that's the unknown factor, isn't it? Fortune. Oh, word, how lucky was that?
Well, I think my fellow peers know my feelings on luck and ball run. I do like a little moan about it, but You know, we all get it. We all get it for us, we'll get it against us, but I just don't like to see that when you play such a bad shot. You know, we all need a little bit of luck here and there, but played completely the wrong shot. Got an outrageous fluke, and he's still at the table.
Well, the red kissed two of the reds on the way to the pocket, and he landed plumb on the black.
36. $41. $42.
Short with the cue ball again, so blue you'd expect him to pop, but lots of pressure on this, especially should have been much easier. Safely in. Getting very close to the winning line in this frame now. Doesn't have to do anything more to develop
47.
the balls. Just got to keep tight control of the cue ball. 2 or 3 reds with high value colours away from what would be a very, very creditable draw, albeit with a little bit of luck on his
48.
side, but he won't care about that.
What you can't accuse him of is negativity. He likes to go for his shots. And keep going is the question, because we're at the crunch point now. 48 in front. Nothing really safe if Trump were to get a chance in the next minute or so. But it's going to have to come soon.
54.
The other thing to say, of course, is if everything's level at the end of the day, the high breaks come into it. So this could be a chance to get a useful target. Trump made 58 in the last frame.
$55.
Certainly hasn't shown signs
60.
of being overawed. Playing Trump, he won that first frame pretty impressively in the end with the good blue and the pink.
$61.
Well, he's not quite there yet. Still 67 on here.
He's already potted 2 blues to the green pocket in this break. This is by far the most important. Got the red up in bulk, so just needs to make sure of this blue. Yeah, it's always the way, innit? The one you need is always the one hardest to get. So
Yisong,
it
61.
was a good visit, but not quite enough. The only thing that's in his favour at the moment is the black being out of perfect position. Judd Trump's going to have to take high value colours with these reds. So that probably forced his hand there. Realised it wasn't a good opportunity to get on the pink or black off that red, so used all his experience, played a clever shot. Like that red to have avoided the green, but he got the cue ball where he wanted it. Just needs to be careful here, Peng, because these penalty points don't normally play a big part in a frame, but on this occasion it will make a massive difference. It'll just make the clearance so much easier for Judd Trump if he can pick up 4 or possibly 8 penalty points from this position.
Foul. And a miss for Judd Trump. Put it back, okay.
So there's the first 4, 57 in it now, 67 on.
You happy with that, Judd? Fine.
Spot on from John Pellew.
This red pot's to left middle. Half chance for Judd.
Well,
Did pot. Always knew he had the blue waiting, so he does get a chance in this frame. Far from a good one just
Blue ball.
yet, but it's a chance nonetheless. Now this is where them penalty points I mentioned make a big difference. Just enables Judd to be able to take a couple of
6.
blues with these reds. See, 51 behind, 59 on, so he's basically got 8 points to play with. Take a blue with this last red, and then if you're looking
7.
to get 3 reds and pinks with the remaining 3 reds, probably won't entertain the black, just leave it till the very end and just drop it down the cushion. How many times do we see the top players do this sort of thing? So good normally at just
12.
pressure situations, big pressure clearances.
$13. $19. $20.
It also illustrates how tough the top players are to beat, because Trump hasn't played his best all the way through the match, but in his hands now to win it.
$26.
31 behind, so brown or higher off the last red be good enough. And it looks like it's all going to
27.
come down to that final black. Can't really see anything getting in the way of Judd getting that far in this break. Great clearance this will be. Bit of a sickener for his opponent. Welcome to the main tour, but
32.
Six colours then to start the day with a victory.
34.
The only issue here, we know it's a quick table, so the cue ball travelling can lose your weight.
Oh, 57.
Maybe needs to be a bit quicker. Still has a chance at this brown. Bit of pressure on now, though, having worked for this chance.
$41.
Wow. Bit of a surprise. Judd Trump's run into trouble here. It looked pretty routine to get down to the black, but just shows you, just lose control of that cube or a fraction. It's very hard to get yourself back in perfect position. It's hard to see how. Don't think there's any possible way he can take this on, so try and hide it from his opponent, because he knows if he leaves it even vaguely
Judd Trump,
potable, his
41.
opponent will be taking it on.
Yeah, and these are big moments in the overall group, aren't they? I'm sure that Jamie Clark and Sean O'Sullivan wouldn't mind just seeing a draw here.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on Judd's safety here, because as we've seen already in this match, Peng doesn't refuse anything, whether it be a tough pot or a double. I just think anything slightly presents itself, he's going to be taking it on. So absolutely imperative Judd gets that object ball safe every time. Oh, he count himself very fortunate there. Got the double kiss, could have gone anywhere. And now, chance here though for Judd. Can he play the blue twice across the table, get it in next to the black? That's the plan. That way, maybe forces his opponent to bring the black into play, which he won't want to do. So, clever shot there from Judd. Could have done just a bit more weight on the blue there, get it up touching the black. But Peng may be able to avoid going anywhere near the black here and still keeping the blue safe. Well, I've got to be honest, it's not a shot I would have risked there, putting the blue near the black, but be very pleased with the outcome. Got it safe, but Judd plays this one correctly. He'll be bringing the black into play. Blue will be staying pretty much where it is. Yeah, so I think it's a little sign of a little bit of inexperience there.
Yeah, that changes things now. All three balls potable, black in particular, of course, key for Trump.
not as played. Caught the blue too thick. Happy with where the cue balls finished, but blue's travelled much further down the table than intended, so I wonder whether Judd will risk clipping this blue into the right middle. Cue ball coming back up and down the table. He'll have some kind of shot at the pink should it go in. The question is, can he find a telling safety shot? If not, it's probably worth taking the pot on.
So there's a blue that ended Peng's 61 break. He knocks this one in though. We see the miss again from Trump. If he knocks this one in, then he's got the draw. And he's knocked it in superbly. So every credit to Peng Yisong. Trump had the chance to clear, didn't he? It went wrong. Green to brown, brown to blue initially. Now it's looking like it's a point apiece.
Peng Yisong.
Unless he plays on needing 2 snookers. Looks like he's going to do.
Again, Dave, just a little bit of inexperience, wasn't it? You know, I don't think Judd would normally play on needing 2 snookers on the pink with the black in the middle of the table, but he basically gifted him the first snooker. Oh, I just got a feeling if he does escape from this snooker, we might see a handshake.
Yeah, you're quite right, Joe. So, very exciting
Again.
match. It wasn't the highest quality necessarily, but it came right down to the wire, and it's on as even. Judd Trump and Peng Yisong have drawn the opening encounter here 2-2. There'll be a short break, and we'll be back with Jamie Clark against Sean O'Sullivan.